Hello, my name is Victoria Egbe. On to this edition of the program, we will be looking at the relationship between students and local food vendor, popularly known as Mama Put. First in the lineup is the feature.
Local food vendors, popularly known as Mama Puts, are cooks who prepare and sell food in the streets or other public places. It is often sold from a portable food booth. The nature of Mama Put can keep up with the ever-changing consumer demand. Middle and low-income earners are the major consumers. Most students on campuses patronize local food vendors because of the quantity and affordable price. The continuous consumption of Mama Put food can lead to health complications if not checked. Today, local authorities, international organizations, and consumer associations are increasingly aware of the socio-economic importance of street food, but also of their associated risk. The major concern is related to food safety. Also, the health challenges include sanitation. However, the risk of food poisoning outbreaks linked to the street food remains the greatest threat. As a country or an institution, we need to have a national policy on street vended foods.
Let's join Lorna on the street as she takes us through this segment.
Thank you, Victoria. I'm Ede Lorna Owolona, and here we're going to be finding out why students love patronizing local food vendors. Come along with me as we discover this. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What's your name, please?
Yeah, I'm Ochepo Manas Ochepo.
Sorry?
Ochepo Manas Ochepo.
Okay. Ochepo, I would love to know why you enjoy patronizing local food vendors.
Yeah, as for me, I enjoy patronizing Mama Food because sometimes it's very easy. Like maybe you are late for lecture, to start cooking and doing that. With your 200 naira, you come and eat, and the food is sweet, and you eat and you enjoy yourself. And moreover, sometimes when you don't have food stuff, going to the market to buy food stuff with thousands of naira, you just use 200, you eat, use 200, eat again, you're okay.
I love patronizing local food vendors because of the proximity. It's easy for me to check from my lecture venue to here, and also it's affordable. With just 150 I can get a quick meal for myself.
Why do you prefer patronizing local food vendors?
I patronize it because I cannot cook by myself. So naturally this is my mother's home when I'm in school.
Not really, I like patronizing the local food vendors, but as such, you can understand that here in our environment, precisely in Makurdi, those are the places where the food are so cheap to the extent that students can afford.
I think it has to do with the cost of the food, you understand? Because most students like us, we go for quantity, not quality, you understand? In places like this, you can have, quality food at a reasonable amount, at, just 200 naira with meat, you understand? Meat and pure water. But if you go to places like, I don't want to mention names, but those nice eateries in town, I don't think you get enough food that will sustain you for that. So I think the reason why we're here is basically quantity, not quality.
First and foremost, because it's affordable. Secondly, I think it's homemade food. Yes, as in when I can't cook at home, it's faster and better here.
Yes. So what do you think about the environment? Is it very conducive for you to eat here?
Whether the environment is conducive or not, we don't care. We just have to satisfy our stomach so that we can study.
It's not that conducive for me, but I just have to manage because it's where I find myself.
The environment around this place is not really conducive for students. So I think that's one area where these people really need to improve on. You understand? People come here, you expose your food. There are many, things can get into your food. So I think we should work on, the hygiene of this place, try to make it more conducive for students. I think it will go a long way in helping us.
We've heard from the students what they think about local food vendors and their perspective concerning the hygiene of these local food vendors. Let's go back to Victoria.
Thank you, Lorna. We cannot talk about food without talking about hygiene and nutrition. So let's hear from our medical expert, Dr. Peter Onoja, in another segment.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon.
My name is Ede Lorna Owolona, and I'm from Benue State University. 400 student of Mass Communication Department. I'm here today to ask you, as a professional medical doctor, what's your take on local food vendors in Nigeria?
It's a good place to get cheap food, to get quick food maybe, but then there are health implications. I believe that a lot of these places have their food prepared under very poor, hygienic conditions. All right. Just a few days ago, some friends of mine, they felt, okay, why don't we go? They wanted to eat actually. We got to some 3 places. They were all local food, stores or vendors. The mama puts kind of arrangements. While I was trying to get a spoon from this lady, she got a spoon from someone who had just eaten. She just turned back, used her hand, to clean, and then she turned and gave me the spoon. And I was like, wow. Yeah, that was right. I was seeing what she was doing. However, aside, the place of health, poor hygienic conditions, I think it's a good place where people can get, especially students maybe, and people who, they can get food at a very cheap rate. However, I think again that we can train the people, both the vendors and the people that sell for the food vendors. We can train them. There are workshops that are organized for food vendors that these people could be trained and taught the health implications of the things that they do.
Alright, so as a professional medical doctor, what could be the possible health challenges from patronizing local food vendors?
In hospitals, for example, people present us with food poisoning. Alright, some people could come here, gastroenteritis, cases like cholera, could also, and that's really, that can kill in so quick a time. Again, because of a lot can be attributed to the unhygienic conditions of food preparation and of course the environment that this is found in. Lots of flies that carry pathogens, from place to place, and then they put them on food and all of that. So yeah, so some of these that I have mentioned, of course typhoid could also be transmissible via this. Again, because a lot of the vendors are looking for how to make quick cash, all right, even washing the utensils, washing, the plates and all of that, yeah, isn't properly done. Same water that you've used to wash, you are washing and, all manner, the water has changed. It now has a color. It's yellowish and all of that. But I think we can't train people. So yeah, there are health implications. People come down with very commonly gastroenteritis in healthcare settings. And I think this can be avoided. Of course, typhoid, very important.
Lastly, I would love you to leave an advice for the larger audience out there.
Well, of course, I wouldn't have to stop people from eating. People would always have to eat. However, I think that we need to be really careful. Okay, now this might sound crazy, but there are times when, even when I have to go to some of the contemporary eateries around, if I have to, I rarely do, but if I have to, I go with my plates. at times. Yeah, plates, spoons, and all of that. So that can happen. That's a possibility. However, I think the issue boils down to the Federal Ministry of Health, training and retraining, not just training, but also retraining, periodic checks on food vendors, because we can't stop them from earning a living, all right, but we can help keep a tab on them, all right. We train train the people that work underneath them, have workshops for them.
Thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. All right, Victoria, it's now over to you.
This is where we draw the curtain for the program. Thanks for watching.